Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Sorry about being late. Just as we were going live, our carrier came to the door. So we thought we'd help him get the stuff out. That way we're starting off fresh without, still FedEx to have to come. But want to make this live stream about getting off on the right foot in March with reselling. And I think this is probably one of the best months of the year, I think, to resell for many reasons. I mean, got a lot of categories that things are seasonal, like a lot of shoes, clothing. People are now getting into warmer weather and also sourcing. You have a lot of yard sales that are going to start opening up for folks around the country. Many of you guys know we already have yard sales, so that's not nothing new for here out west. But for many of you, Midwest, East Coast, yard sale season, spring is when that really gets going. So a lot of liquidation too. If you have, ways of picking up liquidation, you have the Christmas liquidation that's still kind of going strong. So lots of reasons to be optimistic. Money's still yet to be made on the platform. We did not have a great weekend. With that said, again, we talked about it on Friday. It's like it knows I'm not going to be here. We did list some stuff over the weekend. I had stuff launched, but it's just like it knows that I'm not anywhere near. Came home Saturday night, and kind of glad I did. We're going to stay until Sunday. Came home Saturday night, and I got home feeling kind of off. And then yesterday morning, woke up, and I couldn't get out of bed. That's how sick I was. I was sick. I don't know what happened, what caused it, but it was bad. 102-degree fever, by the way. So surprised that I'm even doing the live stream, but I woke up this morning feeling a little bit better. I am kind of warm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Your hands are cold too, as well. So that's our weekend summed up. So I'm not going to really, get all that bothered about a bad weekend. It happens. It's, I can say probably my fault for not doing more to be prepared, getting more items listed and stuff, even though I did have stuff that launched while we were gone. And we're just going to grind and make this thing work. And, I think if your sales are slow, and I'm not talking about a one-off here or one-off there, if they've just been slow, my challenge to you is to find a way to make your sales work. And I got this guy that wants to go back and forth on a message on eBay. So I apologize for that. So that's my challenge to you. Now, how are you going to pull that off? I don't know. Everyone's situation is different. There's no Band-Aid that's going to work for everyone. In fact, some advice or all the advice I give on this channel may not apply to you. It may not work for what you're trying to do. But the name of the game here is, and I think we have to have this conversation with ourselves. Why are you selling on the platform? Are you selling because you enjoy what you're selling and you'd rather sell something you enjoy than benefit from higher profit margins? Or are you really trying to use this as a way, whether it's eBay or any of the platforms, to make money? And if that's the case, then I think you need to start disregarding the enjoyment of what you're selling. And sometimes you can have it both ways. Sometimes you can have what you enjoy selling and you make good money at it. And that's really great if you can pull that off. But I think for most of us, it's not possible. I think in many times I've talked about, changing up what you're selling. And I think for many of you guys, it's hard to do. The idea of abandoning 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 plus items to find something that will sell is not an option in your mind because you have so much money and time wrapped up in that inventory. And I get it. I totally do. But at the end of the day, if that's not working, at the very minimum, maybe consider start off with a secondary store and build that up with really good stuff that you're able to find that has nothing to do with the merchandise that you're currently selling. These are ideas. And again, it's not a one-size-fits-all type of solution. My challenge to you is to find a way to make reselling work. And there's no better time for reselling to thrive than the spring. Of course, we talk about Q4. Some people have mixed results, but I really think the spring is probably the best time of year to sell. It's my most consistent time of the year. So I want your comments in the chat or down below. And hopefully you guys had a little bit better weekend. Yeah, okay. So hopefully you guys have a better weekend than I did, because it was a pretty miserable weekend. Well, not really. Saturday was fun, and then Sunday was just not happening. It's almost felt the same way I felt when I had COVID the first time. And I don't really know if this was that, because it's I feel about 80% better, even though I may look kind of crappy right now. And
you look crappy, you just look tired.
Or sound crappy, right? So that's my little diatribe. Reselling does work. And just to clear things up for some people, I think there's some people out there who are confused about what I do and how much money I make and all that stuff. I can tell you that I don't make more money with YouTube than eBay by it's not even close. We make like $800 a month on YouTube. That's it. And that's before we take taxes out or anything like that. eBay, we make anywhere from $10,000 to $14,000 a month in sales, 45 to 50% margins. So you do the math on that. We do also have other platforms that we sell on. And I do have a little other side business that I do with a friend that also is fairly lucrative. And we just make it work. The bottom line is we make it work. So I think there's a lot of people that think, well, I'm doing bad on my eBay, which I'm really not. I had a pretty good month last month. There's a lot of misconceptions. People seem to have their own idea of what others are doing. And I think if they spent more time looking at what they're doing, they probably would have better success. I'll just say that. So let's see what we have here today. We got Jovial Juggler says, get that popcorn pop, folks. It's National Snack Day.
Oh, I love snacks. I'm a snack kind of girl.
Yeah, she's like, we need more snacks in the house. I'm like, okay. I go out to the grocery store. I'm just looking to buy for stuff that we need.
Yeah, he's not the go-to snack connoisseur.
No.
He is bad.
I won't leave the store with more than a one basket full of groceries. I'm just that way.
Well, I wouldn't either.
Well, if you start piling on snacks and stuff in your cart, it's going to really...
If we just go to Sam's Club, then we'd be all good.
No,
we only get
that's the worst.
One big cart.
You go there for one or two items, you leave with the whole cart full. We got Bearded Picker says, second, you can't skip this one. Well, I got to say, I didn't skip the last one with my... I'm sure you mean the comments, right? So yeah. I'm not skipping the comments. And I do skip the sidebar stuff because a lot of times you're talking amongst each other. And therefore, I try to avoid those comments. But it was a very small chance that I was going to skip today. Even if I woke up feeling bad, still, I would have figured out a way to make it work. Kim Sharp says, hello, everyone. I haven't been able to make a live in a while. So it's nice to be here tonight. Well, it's nice to see you. Thank you for being here.
Kim.
We got Kevin Hawthorne from Lakeland, Florida.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Kevin. Awesome.
Happy birthday,
I didn't
Kevin.
realize why you're singing that until I saw his second comment. Well, awesome. Happy birthday, Kevin. Duncan VR says, happy Tuesday morning. Just coming 10 a.m. here.
Morning.
Yeah, it's in Australia.
Yep.
Packing orders and then race up the road to mail them. Hope Jenna got her burger. She got her burger yesterday.
I did get a burger, but it wasn't the burger.
Yeah, well, she had a chance to get the burger.
I went to In-N-Out last night to try to get us burgers, and the line was wrapped around the buildings.
Yep.
And I was like, nope. And I flipped a U-turn right then and there.
She called me, hey, this isn't happening. Where do you want me to go? And I'm like, I don't care. I mean, when you're sick, you don't really care, right? You're just like, I know I'm kind of hungry. I don't care where you go, whatever makes you happy. On The Habit. There's a burger place called The Habit, which...
Their onion rings were good, but
really good.
Their burgers not so much.
We have Stephen J78 says, my wife called the shareholders meeting last night to announce she expects we will meet or exceed our revenue projections for the year, and she doesn't foresee any layoffs. Good, since it was just her and I.
Well, that's a good thing.
Stephen, you're any relation to Roman by chance? You guys crack me up. Daniel Lesage from Baton Rouge says, made it for this live. Been busy with rebuilding my leaking roof for the last few weeks. Sales have been steady but slow and low money. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, hopefully you have a new roof and all is well with the home.
Yeah, I know how rainy it gets out there too, so you got to get that roof fixed. Flip It Good says, hi, John and Jenna. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday
to you. Joe Samard says, howdy, J&J. Good show Saturday. Yes. You know what? I rarely do I like to watch the shows after we record them. Of course, we watched it back, and I wasn't expecting much out of the first episode because this is the first episode. We're kind of just introducing ourselves to the audience, and I thought it went really well for a first episode. So very encouraged with the new podcast. You guys got to go check it out. As you guys know, the eBay Power Hour podcast was the one we did with Josh. And now it is the Profit Playbook podcast with Bearded Picker, and it is still on the same channel. So if you're already subscribed, then it's just the same channel. Go find it. And the PPP, right? Callie Deb says, hi, everyone. I hope everyone is having a good day. My sales aren't so good because the offers being to me are just way too low, less than half of my asking price. I counter and then no response. I'm gonna move this.
That's like that happens to me every day. Nobody ever responds to my my offers, like almost nearly ever.
Well, I have an idea why that happens. I really think that it's because people are shopping right now for what they're wanting, right? If you don't get to that offer, if you don't send that offer in the first 30 minutes after you receive it,
I get them and I send something
how often
pretty close to as often throughout the day as I can.
Right. But again, if you're, how many times are you sending offers throughout the day?
Well, sometimes I don't have offers to send.
I understand, but how often are you, if you're being honest about it, how often are you checking your offers throughout the day on that account?
Checking them at least 3 or 4 or 5.
Okay, so let's just say 5, right? 5 times a day throughout your day is spaced about 2 to 3 hours apart each time. Okay, again, if someone is looking at your items and it registers as, oh, here's an offer to a watcher, right? Because if someone clicks on your item enough, it'll register them as a watcher. And they're shopping for something right now. And if you get to them in 2 hours, chances are they've already bought what they're looking for. You send them an offer, they're not going to get back to you because there's no need.
Are you scolding me?
No, I'm just saying it. I'm not scolding you.
Your attitude has got to change about now.
Look, I'm not feeling well, and I'm just adamant about it.
Don't take it out on me.
Nobody is. I am not scolding anyone. I promise you.
Change your tone.
It might be my tone because of the way I sound. I sound really hoarse. I feel froggy right now. That's kind of how I sound. So, but that is exactly, I think, I feel very strongly about. That's customer behavior. And these buyers they know what they want. They want it now. They found it. They don't have any time to respond to any offers. And that's not with tone, by the way. That's just the way I sound. Henri Squaw says, howdy, howdy, howdy. Hope you had a good trip, John. Hope your weekend was good, Jenna.
It was all right until I found out he was coming home Saturday night.
And
that just blew all my whole weekend right out.
Yeah, blew it out the window. And it was funny. So we played our golf on Saturday. I'm feeling fine, right? And so we get done, and my buddy's like, well, just 3 of us tomorrow. It was 8 of us that played Saturday. It was really windy, and he's like, I don't know if I want to do that again. And I'm like, just do what you want to do. I said, but if we're not playing golf, I'm not going to stay overnight. So we get to dinner at the casino. There's a casino out there, and we having a nice dinner. He's, oh, by the way, I canceled the tea time. So I'm like, okay, I guess we're going home tonight. So we played around on the machines and stuff, and I broke even, which is a good day at the casino. And all of a sudden I'm sitting there and my leg gets this Charlie horse, right? I've got like $400 in the machine. My leg gets into like this knot, and I'm like trying to walk it off back and forth around the machine. And that should have been my first sign that something was going on with me. And then my throat started getting sore. We're driving home, not feeling great, get home. And then, I get a phone call from Jenna, and we're like 30 minutes out of Vegas. And she's like, where are you at? I wanted to surprise her. So we're going to the store right now. Like, no.
I say bullshit.
And I know she's got my phone on like GPS mode. She can see where I'm at. So I know this. And I'm like, okay, well, we're almost home. She's like, well, I thought something was going on, but I thought I'd surprise her, but it is what it is.
It was no surprise. It was more of a
It's just like she's got me on lockdown, guys.
No, I do a nightly check-in on my child, and then your name is just so happens to be underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw Nevada, I was like, why is he on his way home?
Bama, Jaybird Resell Josh says, what's up, FAE family? How you doing, Josh? Thanks for being here.
Josh, I have to say, I'm very envious of your property and all your little buildings.
That's really cool.
That is super, super badass.
Really cool to be able to build a little work area there on your property.
To have a shop.
Paul Rose says, hi, John, Jen, and FAE faithful. Slow as molasses here. Hope you're all doing better.
Slow as molasses.
Yeah, I'm just, got up this morning. I said, I'm feeling a little bit better. Got out there, started working. And when we're done here, we're going to go sourcing a little bit online, and then we're going to get out there and work some more. I know I probably should rest, but I think I needed to get sick yesterday. And I'll tell you why. Because when you're not feeling well and you can't get out of bed because my intention was to work on Sunday, like, fine, I'm coming home early, I'm going to work. And couldn't get out of bed and was like, not even going to try to. And it's like, I really look forward to working right now. And so when I was able to this morning, I'm flying around. I don't care. I'm able to, I'm going to work. So I took it for granted, I guess you can say. Maya says, hello, sales are awesome for me this weekend. A little slower Saturday, but Sunday was probably my highest sales day this year.
Yes, we love that.
That's what we want to see. And I think this is the month that for many people, things are going to start getting on track. Let's hope. Amazon Seller 99. Hey guys, hope sales are getting better. I think there's been a lot of sellers dropping out, of slowing down, going back to their jobs. So less competition for the rest of us. That's true. Makes you wonder how many sellers that were active, let's say last year at this time, are active now selling full time. Maybe some of them have moved on to part-time jobs and that sort of thing, and are still selling, but how many are doing it full time as compared to last year? The Tampa Bay Picker says, hello all, very slow sales today. I think we have like maybe $180 in sales, so it's not the greatest. So we're just going to keep grinding. That's all we can do. Bama says, great sales for me this weekend too. Awesome. Paul Rose says, Primo said the same. Hopefully it's US on the up first, closely followed by the rest of us. We have Lenny K says, hi from rainy New Hampshire.
Rainy New Hampshire.
And then Mr. Sadie's in the house says, hello friends, how did your poker game go, John? So I got to the resort, and it turned out that the guys were waiting. They're sitting in the patio, and we had the poker chips. My buddy had the chips we brought up, and we got going. We only played for a couple hours though. And I think I ended up losing like $75. Wasn't bad. I mean, it was going to be really bad, but I kind of got hot near the end. So all's good. Didn't have a bad weekend at all. When you can go gamble, play some golf, and it was kind of free, you don't really come back with really any losses, then that was a good day. Mark Gertis says, hello, good weekend sales, and today as well. Awesome. We have Devon Short says, hello.
Devon.
Paul Rose says, are you rolling in loot now, John, after the poker? No, it was kind of to me, it was kind of a dud in that it was only 2 hours. And then about, say, 11:15, my buddy Tim's like, yeah, let's wrap it up. I'm like, what are you talking about? We just got here. He's like, no, we got to get up early in the morning. We have a 10:30 tea time, but we had a 7:30 a.m. meeting at breakfast. That's the whole point of us going, was to have a meeting about this golf thing that we do in May. And it was like 80 players that show up, 80, 90 players that show up. We are kind of coordinating all this stuff. That was the whole purpose of us going out there. And I'm like, okay, I guess I was just getting hot, right, with the cards. So it should have been better. But next time, when we get out there in May, we're going to have like 3 or 4 days and nights full of poker. So it's going to be fun. JRKR 1964 says, hi, John and Jenna. Thanks for being here.
Hello.
We have Trombley's Treasures. There's another power hour coming out of Vegas. J Ride and Sunny Young kids against the old men, John and Beard. I'll take the old men. I like both J Ride and Sunny. I've had a chance actually just about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, we actually went out and all of us had some dinner and had a chance to hang out and stuff. So I wish them the best. I am envious. I said J Ride. I said
J Ride wasn't there.
Yes, he was. You weren't there. This is when you're in Texas.
Oh.
I
didn't know that.
This was it was Archie, myself, J Ride, and Sonny. We all went out for dinner. And
I never knew that.
Yeah, and went thrifting before then and all that stuff. So yeah, I had a chance to hang out with those guys. The only thing that I'm envious of, and I've got to hit up Sonny, is to find out how he got his graphics so clean on that podcast. I mean, he has a little anime. No, because I saw the comments in that video saying that.
Sonny is a artist.
So I've got to get a hold of him. I got to find out some of his secrets. Of course, I want to make it. Well, I don't want to do anything like theirs. I just want to make it my own, but I want to figure out how he did some of those things. So I think it was pretty sharp. So we're going to try to do our best to hold our own. You have different mindsets on how things get done. There's more than one way to skin a cat in this business. And I think both podcasts will teach people something new. Drew Trot says, good eye, everyone. Let the madness begin. Yes. Biff Boffo says, March was my second best month last year, and then it tanked for 6 months. Yeah, we got that dreaded April for a lot of people that came. And
we didn't get that.
We didn't have that problem, but I heard a lot of people. I know Josh Galt was one that had a lot of dismay with the changes that occurred on the 1st of April, and he really had a hard time recovering from it. He was doing really well until the 1st of April hit. But we didn't have that problem. Devon says, best week of sales for me. There you go. Like to hear that. Gail Carlson says, hello, John and Jenna.
Hello, Gail.
Ping G, hello, John and Jenna, and the chat.
Hi, Ping.
Biff says, last week was my second best week this year, 8.4% above average.
Nice.
And eBay still says I'm doing better than I have the last 31 days as compared to the previous 31. So we'll take that. Anytime you can have that green arrow pointing up on your stats, then that's always a good sign.
Was my green arrow up?
I'd have to go look. But if you're in your account so often checking.
Don't even. Why don't you go back to Arizona?
Paul Rose says, it looks like 50-50 at the moment for us all. Hopefully it takes off soon. I hope it takes off for you. Bearded Picker says, Amazon is rocking. Don't come knocking. You know what? And I am going.
We had an Amazon sale.
I had an Amazon sale. Had one Amazon sale. Hey, one is better than none. I'll take it. It's retail arbitrage is very intimidating. Okay, if you try to do what Bearded Picker does, it's like second nature to that guy. He can walk into a store and walk by items, know exactly what to scan and what not to scan.
And then he kept going.
Yeah.
He didn't give up after the first place.
Yeah. Well, I didn't give up after the first place either. I went to 2 places, by the way.
2 places, and then he gave up.
I went to 2 places, by the way. Got all excited. I thought I found something I can sell on Amazon, and it turned out that it was put into the wrong spot, so it wasn't on clearance like I thought. So I'm like, well, there goes that idea. So it's just. It's trying to learn something new, and it may not be comfortable. It may not be successful right away, but to learn. That's what I'm doing. And you know what? Beard is going to be happy with me. I finally started listening to the book they read back in December, Profit First. And it's very interesting to me. Very, very interesting. Of course, I didn't get far enough into it to really grasp how the whole concept works and how they make it work. Whereas the standard accounting of your business, actually, I think most of us follow, you bring in your money, you take out your expenses, and whatever's left over, you say is your profit. Well, in this book, the concept is you get paid, you take your profit out, and then you pay your expenses. So just trying to see how that applies. And a lot of people have said that's been very successful for them. So I am learning, trying to learn, and being very intimidated in the process and uncomfortable in the process.
You have
and I think
to be uncomfortable.
you have to be. I mean, you do. And just think of the first job you ever had in your life. Maybe a job that you succeeded at in your life. But that first day of that job, I'm guaranteeing you, you're intimidated on some level. Soda City Flips says, evening FAE fam. Hello, John and Jenna.
What's up, Shane?
Hey, what's up, Shane? Devon says, John, I'm glad you are better. I am glad too, because I didn't know, when I look back at when we got COVID back in 2020, man, that was the disaster. I was out for 10 days. And thankfully, she kind of held down the fort, and I'm sitting there, just trying to make it through. And I was having flashbacks of, wow, how long am I going to be out this time? Because I was really feeling it yesterday. But made sure got some sleep, got the vitamins, got the different concoctions, and was really fighting this thing. And I think I'm knock on wood. Or particle board, I'm out of the woods. Let's just hope that's the case. Brett says, stopping by to say, hey, hope all's well.
Hey.
Sales are still steady. I have not listed a new item for over a week. I only sell similar 30 items daily, still getting those sales. There you go.
Nice.
But in eBay's eyes, you have 30 new listings a day. Now, the whole idea behind listing new items is you're introducing new stock to make up for the old stock that you've sold. And ideally, but usually, your best stuff's going to sell over the stuff that's just kind of okay. So if all your good stuff's gone and you don't replenish it with more good stuff, then it's going to slow your sales down, even with the end sell similar process. But then again, you have a lot. I think most of the stuff you sell is very good quality stuff, very good high-end brand names. So that doesn't surprise me that you're reporting that kind of success despite not listing in the last week. So awesome. Here's your favorite flapjack. Says, I credit hitting the like button with turning a rare WWF racing jacket from a $4 purchase into $600.
Nice.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
And all from hitting the like button, guys. So if you hit the like button within the next 24 hours, you're going to get a sale. May not get this kind of a sale, but you should get a sale within the next 24 hours. And there's no explanation for it. It just works. Let's see. We've got... Paul says, wow, keep those flapjacks moist. Well done. Jenna does not like that word. Andy says, can't wait for the summer slowdown videos. I'm so excited. But I didn't have those summer slowdown videos.
Let's not jinx it, but God, I hope we have another summer like we did last summer.
Okay. I may have come out with the summer slowdown video, but it wasn't because I was having a summer slowdown.
Yeah.
It's generally the time of year when people are out about, good weather, vacations, not focused. When you're out and about, you're not so focused on the internet. You're not focused on shopping. You're just out and about, right? Time goes by. You're having a good time. People generally wander over to their computer, whip out the laptop, maybe the iPad, and sit down out of boredom and start shopping, right? And it's no surprise to me when we had the pandemic and everyone was locked in their houses because we had no other choice, why people spent so much time online shopping. Just because there's nothing else to do. Biff says, I love what I sell, and eBay is only viable platform. I tried others last year along with Prime List. I actually list PL? Prime Lister. Prime Lister. All of it was a waste. And I don't want to call cross posting a waste. I think it's supplemental. It's not going to pay the bills by itself. So if you leave eBay altogether thinking I'm going to just put all my stuff on Mercari, Poshmark, Etsy, Depop, every site you can find, even Bonanza, you're not going to replace the income you lose to eBay. Now, maybe you move over to Amazon, and Amazon, if you can get the right product, because the traffic is like tenfold of eBay, you're going to really do well if you can make that work. But entry-level sellers don't usually do well. It takes a little experience and learning to really do well over on Amazon. And it's a culture shock. You're going to find that the policies are even more difficult to navigate through without getting yourself into trouble a couple times. That's happened to me. So eBay is going to be a staple for many people. I wouldn't give up on cross-listing altogether, but if you're killing it with eBay, then why spend the extra time cross-listing?
But at least you can say you tried it and it wasn't as plentiful for you. And so be it. Yeah.
So, everyone is going to have a different formula in attaining success. You just got to find what that is. Keep calm and grind. The final auction value fees you really have to watch for certain categories. eBay has to making bank from its sellers, just saying. Yeah, they do have to make money from their sellers, and that's part of the game.
They are running a business.
It's part of the game. I mean, look, your buyers, and this is in no defense of eBay, but this is just the reality of what's going on with eBay. They are a business. They have a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders to make money for them. And just like you, as a seller, have a responsibility to your own business to make as much money out of that $4 item and to try to turn that into $600. Now, some people might look at it from the outside looking in saying, well, that's greedy. Why did you need to sell that $4 item for $600? And, couldn't you have just sold it for $100? That's what some people would actually think looking on the outside looking in. But that's not how business works. You want to maximize the amount of money you can make on an item. It doesn't matter what you bought it for. Now, the fact that you buy it for $4, sell it for $600 gives you a lot of room. If you're sitting on that item in your store for $600, you're getting offers for $350. Do you take it or not? So as a reseller, we have to look at it from that perspective. And eBay is really not a bad guy for trying to make money for their shareholders. The only problem that I have is that they're out of touch because at some point they're trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip, and they're just going to keep squeezing and squeezing when there's, with all the fees and this, that, and other thing. It's just going to be difficult for most sellers to keep up. And that's the problem that I have. It's like going to a yard sale and trying to get that $4 item for $1 and, expecting them to give in.
Did that light go out?
It did. It's plugged in. Well, that means we got to buy a new one.
I said we buy different kinds.
Yeah, I think we need to revamp it. Larry Todd says, is this where I learned to be a Brazilian seller on eBay? You could be a Brazilian seller too if you want. I mean, you might have just as much luck. The bargain effect.
Just as much fun.
Says, hello and good evening, everyone. Well, thank you for being here. And then we have Lissa. Happy Monday, dear FA family. Busy photographing and listening. Glad to see you, lovely Jenna and wonderful John.
Aw, thanks. Awesome. We are so happy you're here.
We've got Craven Cards. Says every day is.
Every day is.
Every day is.
Dun, dun.
I cannot argue with that statement. Every day is.
Every day is.
Larcy says, for those with niche shops, Etsy has some crazy sales volume, also low fees. I fully switched over from eBay and consistently have $1,500 days over there.
Wonder what you're selling.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't sell our toilet seats all over there.
Yeah. Again,
just about what you're selling.
That model works well for you. It may work well for others. Certainly if you're selling the type of thing that Etsy really strives, I think collectibles, handmade things. What else? What else sells good over there at Etsy?
It's a lot of handmade stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people do, who have specialized in woodworking or jewelry or just you name it. They make it and they sell it.
And so if you have that type of thing, you should have been over there months ago, really. eBay is probably your second place to put your items. And that's what I'm saying. You know, no matter how you do it, you want to get your stuff over cross post. That's the way to do it. Victor says, hello, FAE family. Good wishes to all.
Victor.
Larry Todd says, my snacks are broccoli and celery.
That's not a snack. Poor man.
That's punishment.
That's sad.
Mad Hatter's Boutique says, only been selling for over 2 years now. Has eBay ever gone down site-wide? Not site-wise, but site-wide, I'm sure you mean to say. I have not seen it go down functionally. I mean, you might have found, like, I'm trying to search for something and it says it's not you, it's us. You get that screen, but never have I seen it where I'm not able to at least get into my account.
Yeah.
But you know, how many buyers when they go to search for your item are not finding anything? Paul Rose says, as Elvis said, I'm caught in a trap. It's ride or die for me at this point. Either it works or it collapses soon. Fingers crossed. Well, we want it to work for you.
Yeah.
But okay, so if we analyze this, Paul, you've been doing what you've been doing for how long? For probably quite some time. What changes have you made to change the outcome of your current level of success? And if you're not happy with what you're getting out of your efforts, what are you going to do? Are you going to just keep the course? Don't make any changes and hope that there's something that changes for you, which is, it's possible, right? But it's more likely that if you analyze what you're doing and maybe make some changes, make some big changes, things could change for the better. And you guys know my story. I wouldn't even be reselling anymore if I didn't make the change that I made. That's just the fact. You know, I do enjoy reselling, but at the end of the day, it's all about making this work so you can pay your bills. And if that means
go shopping.
Yeah, and if that means that, you know, you're going to have to sell something different or do something differently, you know, maybe you thought that your sales are down by 30% and the thought of cross listing just isn't like desirable to you. Well, maybe it's because you need to get out of your comfort zone and just do it and get that extra 10, 20, 30% in sales to help offset the losses, right? So the answer's out there. And for most people, the answer's out there. And for some, and I hate to say this, for some, the answer is that it's not going to work. But you shouldn't let this business, you shouldn't quit until you've exhausted all the possibilities. And that's just the way I look at it. If it means that I need to, if all my stuff that I have in my store just stops selling tomorrow altogether, I would go out and find something else to sell. I wouldn't stop trying to sell that stuff, mind you, but I'd start introducing different stuff that will sell into my store.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Biff wants to order more gummy nerd clusters.
Yes, do it.
Check that off under the unhealthy category.
I don't care. Sometimes you just need some unhealthy.
I don't want to be unhealthy anymore.
I don't want to be unhealthy either.
I'm going to start losing weight. I'm going to start doing that.
Something about those gummy nerd clusters.
Yeah, well.
They got a chokehold on me.
Maya says, oh, yeah, if you have the kind of things that sell on Etsy, it's definitely worth looking into. I agree. We have Chatterbrains says, hello from Montana. Sales have been amazing. Knock on wood, listening to y'all while sorting through lots.
Yay.
And we've got lots of stuff that I have to sort.
Do you still have snow there in Montana?
Sadistic says, hey, John, I joined you in the boot game, bought 80 Red Wings.
Oh, my.
Yeah, Red Wings are really good. We have a lot of different boots like Columbia and stuff like that.
A whole nother tub. Well, he's got all these clean ones sitting right behind him.
These that I got to list. So it's, and of course, I've got that 2 big boxes full of water shoes from Body Glove. And I need to start getting them up. I mean, right now is a very good time. You can ask Tommy Bernard. I don't know if he's here with us or not.
I haven't seen him today.
But he sells shoes year round, and he can tell you that springtime and fall are the best times of the best time of the year to sell your shoes. So get those things listed. Let's see. Who else do we got here? We got Rain Galaro. Says, anyone else having a problem with their shipping being missing on multiple items? Did an inventory and noticed a lot, so fix them now. It's happening again. So when you say you're shipping, are you talking about items that you're pulling to ship? You can't find them? Maybe you had an issue with your inventory. Maybe you can kind of rephrase that question down below. I'll get to it.
Andy, you are so wrong.
Andy says, habit is way better than in and out, LOL. Okay.
No.
Okay. If I was to look at the entire experience, would I rather have a habit meal or a in and out meal? I'd rather have the habit meal. Because those onion rings with the ranch are just off the hook, and they just make that burger.
Or when you're starving, they taste even better.
Yeah, but I gotta say, so if I had to look at burger to burger, it's still in and out.
No, it's in and out all the way.
Double animal style. Hold the tomato and call it a night.
Nobody can hold a candle to in and out. Not even and those who said something about Whataburger, I'm sorry, I had it when I was in Texas, and that was not even close.
Yeah, but it's just a burger for me, and in and out. The fries are lacking.
I like the fries. I mean, they're not the best. I would take a Del Taco fry over.
But it's the meal. It's the meal that I'm looking at.
No.
Mr. Sadie, it's Monday. I thought it was No Pants Friday. Be right back. And then Ping says, I don't agree, Andy. In and out for me.
Yes.
Burger wise, yes, but total meal, I would say the options that the habit give you is way better. Even if you don't like onion rings, they've got like all kinds of good stuff.
Oh, Wahlburgers. Wahlburgers is really good.
Callie Deb says, my offers to buyers are immediate. So the immediate payment kind of thing. No. She's immediately on it. But the thing is, unless I wish I could do it more, but if I'm out in the garage and I'm not listing, but I'm getting my photos done and I'm getting my stuff tested, right? I can't be focused on my account that often. And I honestly, I'm in there like 3 to 4 times a day sending out offers, but I'm thinking to myself, well, how long has this been sitting here? If that person has actively been trying to buy their item the whole time I'm outside working, they may not even respond to me. That's why it's so important to be able to do that throughout the day rather than just doing it morning and then late at night, because you're going to miss all that potential traffic that still may be looking for their item. Let's see. Paul says, as soon as I see an offer on either account, I send it. It's basically all day, every day. Yep. Bearded PokeTuber says, I'm usually sending offers every hour, and that's good, right? But even then, let's say, that person finds their item before you're
nitpicking.
I'm just saying there's no way to do any more than what Bearded PokeTuber is doing. What I'm saying is just understand that there's a reason why you're getting no responses from some of these buyers. And generally, if they have fulfilled whatever they're looking for, they're not going to reply.
I know, but you're acting like I should be there right when the fucking thing comes up.
I think you should do like Bearded Poke. I think Bearded PokeTuber is probably optimal right there if you can manage that. Christy says, hello from Southern California. Started the day off with 2 sales. What I thought was a great off.
A great off.
Probably a great offer. Offer. Okay. You guys aren't going to trip me up today. I'm trying to be on my game today, so I don't know what that means. But you had 2 sales. That's good. Awesome. We want to hear that.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, Christy.
Bearded Picker says, I send offers once every 10 days. That's right.
I believe it.
Paul Rose says, Jenna's slapping hand is itching.
It really is. He did not stay gone long enough.
Biff Buffalo says, between 10 a.m. and midnight, I'm probably checking and sending offers at least every 30 minutes. So that's even more optimal. Because that's just a sign of activity on your account. And there's a reason when you go to a car lot to buy a car, those salesmen run right out to you, right? They don't wait for you to come inside. They're like approaching you like, hey, can I help you with anything? Right? Now, of course, they're not sending you an offer, but it's trying to at least get the business going. And that's just one way to do it. Devon says, Life 360. I hate it too, Jenna.
I have it too.
I have it too.
Yes. No, mine's not Live 360. We just have iPhones and we can see everybody's location.
Designer Muppet String says, "What's up, everyone? I hit the line for probably hit the like for my sale. Finally, a great weekend of sales."
Well, good. Good to hear.
We have Darth Thrifter says, "Hanging in there. Day 11 of no promotion, and my store is the deadest it's ever been."
Yeah, I saw his videos. He's doing this whole thing where he's not promoting at all.
So when you're not promoting, then you're really relying on being the lowest one for the item that you're selling, right? So you're not going to show up in a general best match search all that high. So you're really hoping that the buyer is clicking on the filter to for lowest plus shipping, right? And you're the lowest in whatever you're selling. And if you think about it, sometimes to be the lowest in whatever you're selling requires you to drop your price by like 25%. So
you have to be really doing everything right.
But think about it. I've got to drop if I'm trying to price my item like the median, it goes from, let's say, $50 to $75 is the range, because every seller, your competition's anywhere between that range, $50 and $75, let's say. So you're trying to be in here at 65. That when you're promoting, you're trying to kind of get a good price, but at the same time, you're trying to be in the median. That's kind of how I approach it. But if you are taking the promotion all the way out, let's say you don't want to promote at 5% anymore, you've got to be down at $50 or even under $50 so you can appear at the top of that lowest plus shipping search. But in doing that, you just dropped $15 off the price you could have got. Now, 5% on 65 is we're talking $3 or $4. So $3 or $4, you're giving up $3 or $4. Well, actually, you're trying to save $3 or $4 in promoted rates, but you're backing off your price by $15. So you're losing. If you play that game, you're losing more in the long run if you do the math, right? So for me, it's my formula is you gotta play the game. Find what works for you. So maybe, you play the game in a way where you say, okay, I'm going to do 5%. And after 30 days, if that item's still in my store, I'm going to end item sell similar and I'll bump it up. Maybe you put an asterisk in the SKU. So every asterisk that you have in the SKU, you keep bumping it up so that finally, hopefully it sells. Now, hopefully you don't have the thing priced too high. You got to make other changes to the listing as well. But that's just one change that you would make rather than going no promoted. And I'm not saying that as a shill for eBay. I'm just saying that, guys, this is the game. We're in the eBay sandbox. This is how they want us to play it. And they will penalize you if you don't play their game. And that's just the facts, no matter how you feel about it.
And don't you have to have free shipping, free returns, all of the freeze everything?
But it's not just the free this, the free that. It's all as a collective. All of it
as that's right. What I just
so if you have 90% of what eBay's asking you for, you're going to be better off than someone who only has 50% of what eBay's asking for. It all adds up.
Right.
Yeah, that's a question. How long are you going to make that? Did he say in this video how long he was going to do that for?
No, he didn't say.
I'm curious how long you're going to do that for. We've got a jolt.
Yeah, I already blocked.
Okay. Darth Thrifter says hi, Devon.
I'm not playing anymore, guys.
Yeah. Mike Camparelli. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Hi, John and Jenna and family. Just stopped by for a second to say hi. I'm here in beautiful Punta Cana. Punta Cana?
Punta Cana.
Okay. I'm sure it's pronounced a little bit differently. But anyway, it's gorgeous here, but only one thing. No Goodwills or yard sales here.
Take some time and relax.
Yeah. You know what?
Enjoy
Reselling will be there when you get back.
The weather, because I sure wish I was there.
Yeah, reselling will get there when you get back. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Darth says 30 days minimum. People say it takes 30 days. Ooh.
Oh, that's a long
time. If you can afford to not get the sales, then yeah, I mean, okay. It may be an experiment that's worth sort of justifying in your mind the need to promote. Hey, I went without it for 30 days. It didn't work. but I think everyone needs to get in tune with what works for their business. And if that means that you have to do an experiment like this to see if promoted is good or bad, then you need to do that. Samantha says, good evening, John and Jenna, love Top Knot.
Well, thank you very much.
What's Top? Oh, your Top Knot.
Yes,
okay.
It's more of a messy something.
Mike's going to check the replay. Yeah. Usually, Mike, you put a comment at 3:20 or 6:20 Eastern, and I'm going to get to it at like 6:45. This time I got
or
to
later.
6:50. Yeah. So I can understand that. A new purpose is ran a 20% on specific items and sold $500 in orders in 4 hours.
Wow.
Then dead sales.
Yeah.
And are you replenishing those items after they sold? So maybe the best of those items sold, and then you didn't have anything to replenish it with.
Mm-hmm.
We have Josh Galtz here.
The real Josh Galt.
Yes. You could tell by the logo.
Yeah.
Henri Squaw.
Somebody could steal that, but I already checked it.
Henri Squaw says eBay has been glitchy today for me. Pictures and edits slow or not taking first time.
Oh.
eBay is still doing this thing to me.
That is so annoying.
No, what's so annoying is this. I'm in the app. I'm almost done, about to launch this listing, and I'm like, oh, I need to put the item away and put it in its proper place.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to put the location in the SKU. I go into the SKU and I get into the SKU feature, and it won't let me type anything. I'm hitting the phone, and then after about 5 seconds, it's boop, the eBay app is gone. So any changes I made to that listing during that time, I got to go back in and redo it again and put the SKU in. So maybe I just put the shipping in.
Have you talked to them about, we are having the worst time with the custom SKU, either removing the SKU number or changing it. And I am up to here with having to ask and wonder and figure out where the heck the item is. And he's thinking I'm nuts because I don't know what I'm doing.
No, she's thinking that I'm not doing my job by putting the number in the SKU. And she's looking at me sideways, and I'm like, no, I put the number in there. I make it my point to put the location in the SKU every time I go to launch the listing. And when
you make mistakes, hon.
I make mistakes. Yes.
You don't make that many mistakes.
Right.
And when it's every day, it's like 3 or 4 or 5, maybe even more times where I'm like, where in the hell is the SKU number? What happened to it?
It's not there.
It's not there.
Fletcher Electronics, how's it going, peeps?
How's it going?
How's it going with you? Let's see here.
Silver hair stacker.
Where? Yeah, we already saw him earlier though.
I know.
Paul has had the "It's not you, it's us" message while listing today. Not seen that for a while. Gotta love it. Gotta love that little kid in that little jacket with the hoodie. Bearded Pickers, the nuclear reset and resetting promotions kickstarted eBay yesterday from the doldrums. So yeah, you gotta find ways to get things kickstarted. I mean, we really had a bad weekend, but I can chalk it up 100% to me. And I know when I go, it's gonna be bad. So I just gotta accept it. Beard says, Bearded PokeTuber says, probably using an expensive DSLR camera as a webcam.
You're talking about Sunny and Jay.
Oh, yeah. Well, no. I'm talking about just the production, the background, and the way that they have the little cutout for their webcam, webcam 1, webcam 2. It's just really sharp. And it's not a standard feature. It's not a standard feature in StreamYard to really to fancify. Well, I think that they are. Well, I think.
What just happened?
I don't know. That was weird. But aside from the content, I really like to get the visuals right.
Hold on. Did we come back?
I don't know. You guys, let me know if you can hear me or see me. If you can. I don't know what's happening here. Our internet is.
Yeah, it's back.
Is it back? Okay. So sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. This internet we have has been pretty solid. So
it says buffering a little.
Oh, okay. Well, just bear with us. Maybe we're under a cyber attack or something. Who knows? It's just 2024, everyone. Let me get caught up again to where I was.
No, you're way down.
I know I'm way down. Here we go.
Right there.
Jennifer says, would have loved to meet you while you were in Arizona. Which casino? We went to Blue Water in Parker, Arizona. Rhiannon says, hey, J&J and FAE fan, happy Monday. Thanks for being here, Rhiannon. David Pentland, I think you're from Scotland. Yes. Greetings from Bonnie, Scotland.
I think he is from Scotland.
I know. Just let me do my thing. Christine Anderson says,
annoying.
Turned on the live to listen on my ride home. Someone just honked at me to back out of my parking space quicker. Now I have to sit here until they leave or I die.
Yes, wow. That's what I would do.
Beard says, I was the only one on Amazon listing. Someone bought all 12, now none available. $500 sale. See, that's awesome.
Nice.
I'm trying to get into that game, but it is not as easy when you are just starting. I'll just say that. Mark Suddick says, what to do about eBay seller who is making sales, then buys from Amazon and does drop shipping, free ship 99.9% of all sales against eBay policy, redrop ship, and the Philippine call center won't stop him because eBay has thousands upon thousands of drop shippers, and they could stop it overnight if they wanted to. But that would mean a huge hit to their bottom line. eBay will tell you they do not want drop shippers on their platform, and they will use that policy to maybe shut down this person and shut down that person, but they won't use it to shut down everyone. And they could do it if they wanted to. So this whole idea, that's why I always felt like trust and safety at eBay is sort of a joke, because they want to take my listing off. It's a hover soccer ball, saying that it's too close to a hoverboard. And then I say, well, what about the hoverboards you have on your site? And they are like, well, sorry, but wait, I just gave you that information. Why don't you take that listing down? If you are truly concerned about trust and safety, but yet they don't do it. So you can get upset. It's not a practice. I think it's a practice that hurts most of us resellers who actually have the product. But what are you going to do about it? eBay is not willing to do anything when they know. So you just got to move on. It's like someone using your photos. There really isn't anything that you're going to be able to do at all when that happens, unfortunately. Yeah. Major Wins is so many awesome folks on here. Well, yes, I agree. Thanks. We have the best chat.
We do.
We have the best chat.
That's our opinion.
Almost always 200 people too. It's pretty good.
I think we have the best peeps.
Yeah. Barter Mania says, cheers all.
Cheers.
Yes. And we've got the little green clover there for Irish. Maya says, I like retail arbitrage. It works out well for me because I'm less likely to get flawed items than the thrift. Yeah. You got new items to sell. It's amazing to me though. You can find stuff for $2 to $3 that someone across the country that has no access to that item is willing to pay $30, $40, or $50 for. That is amazing to me. Big Dre says, hello, everyone. Just shipped some orders out today. Haven't sourced since the President's Day. Finally started listing on Grail. Going to try and catch it up. Posh, Depop, and Mercari this month. There you go. Get your items out in front of more people. Yep. That's the way to do it. Paul Rose says, Mark, just ignore it and move in, especially if you reported it and it came to nothing. Right.
Yeah.
Don't let it get you upset though, because I mean, some things, what I've learned is that there's going to be things that are upsetting. You have no control over. Yeah. So are you doing yourself any good to get upset about those things? Because you have no control. Yeah. If you're looking at slow sales and getting upset, then yeah, you have some control over that. You can get more stuff listed, better stuff listed. I'm a huge believer of that. Until every seller comes out saying, hey, my sales are zero, then there's sales to be made on the platform. Mm-hmm. Bearded Picker says, if you only knew someone who could teach you Amazon, I'm sure they exist.
I don't know. There's this one guy that everybody talks about, but maybe I shouldn't.
And in this case, it's not the teacher. It's not Beard's fault that I'm slow out the gate. It's really, it's the time I'm dedicating to it. And it's just.
Which is minus 5 minutes.
No. I spent time the other day, a good solid hour and a half-ish 2 different locations. And I really kind of felt like I was spinning my wheels, and it's because of the lack of experience. So that doesn't mean I'm going to not do it anymore. I'm thinking that's the worst thing to do, is to try something once, right? So I'm going to get out there and
maybe
learn.
We should go on a road trip and just do retail arbitrage.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Spam Banshee says aloha. Well,
aloha!
Hey Spam, say hi to Primo for us.
I think Primo's here somewhere.
Is he? Okay. Rain says Kristen Anderson, LMAO.
That is funny.
Devon says my husband was sick a couple weeks ago. You thought he was dying.
Oh my God! Don't get me started.
Yeah, don't get her started.
I was already
Shane says,
warned.
yeah, I never experienced the summer slowdown. I mean, we have.
We have prior to 2023.
Yeah.
2022, 21. Those were slow summers. However, once we changed, why are you looking at me that way?
I'm waiting for you.
Once we changed our sourcing and put our store in a what you need versus what you want situation, summer slowdown. Who?
You want to read the next comment? It gets moist in Alabama in the summer. I wanted you to read that. Biff says, I
already shook my head at him.
Biff says, I've never had a summer slowdown until last year, but I still don't think it was a summer. We will never know, but this summer will be interesting. Yeah, let's see how it works for you. I'm a big believer that the summer is just like Q4 is supposed to be. Q4 is supposed to be the time where sales are really great. The summer is the time when sales are really not for a lot of categories. But again, every category is different. Anytime Picker Roman says, I'm lurking and exercising. We'll be back soon. Hello, everyone. Well, I never thought of this live stream as being a good thing to listen to while you're exercising. But nonetheless, if that's what gets you motivated, then keep doing it. I've got to get my butt going. I don't want to show up to our little golf outing in May feeling the way I felt. I mean, you're sitting around the house, you don't get out, you don't do anything, and I really want to get myself in better shape. Major Win says, we're getting killed by eBay, LOL. Mike Gertis says, I opened a Bonanza account last week and got 2 sales, average 1 or 2 Mercari a week since doing it for a month now. There you go. It just all adds up. Beard says, summer sales have a slightly different product demand. Most sellers don't do enough high-level thinking in their business. It's like a set it and forget it mentality. So it's like, this sold in January, great. So I'm going to list them, and then they're like, well, where's the sales? Well, if you're selling seasonal stuff, that might explain it. There's a lot of answers out there for slow sales. And I think instead of trying to find the answer, in many cases, we just kind of put our hands up in the air and go, okay, I give up. And that's the wrong way to look at it. You want to look for the answer. Find the reason. Is it because you're selling a seasonal item? Is it because, something else is going on? Maybe someone came in and saturated the market for I've seen that happen many times. You have something selling just fine, and someone comes in and dumps a whole bunch of inventory on the platform you're selling on, and you're like, well, why am I not selling? Or maybe you're on Amazon at $50 and you're not selling anymore, and you go and look and you see that someone went down to 35. Well, of course your item's not going to sell anymore. You used to be the lowest price and someone just undercut you. So there's all kinds of reasons online arbitrage that we do where you're not going to succeed when you were successful before, and we got to find the reason why that could be. Ramirez 4898 says, what cross-listing program do you guys use? Well, we use TreeCat, and they're at treecat.io. You can look at the link down below. And currently they cross-list from eBay to Posh, eBay to Mercari, Mercari to Posh, vice versa. You able to get through?
Yeah.
And they're still currently free. And what's cool about them is that you can go in and use their delist, relist function. And if you make a sale on one of those 3 platforms, it pulls it off within minutes. So you don't have to worry about freaking out if you're going to sell it like multiple platforms and then have to deal with that nonsense. So, but they're currently free until they roll out their payment processor, another 2 to 3 weeks maybe. and go check them out. Doesn't cost anything. Even once it does start off at once they get the payment processor rolled out, you're going to be able to use the product, the cross-listing tool, and only pay as you sell items. So that's another good feature about that thing, where other cross-listers, you pay a fee, even if you don't maybe sell anything. They are really good, have a really good philosophy in they are only successful if you are. And that's one of the things that really got us interested. And the fact that we, are very involved in setting up a lot of their policies and processes that they're currently working on. They're working on a lot of things, innovations into the software that's really going to be beneficial to many resellers out there. I'll say that much. Let's see. Bearded Picker says, Roman, you are making moist flapjacks. Richard Spanuski says, any way to actually call eBay, even in India? I've never had an India rep. It's usually the Philippines. There's 2 call centers in the Philippines. And the way to do it is to go on to help and contact. And you go into the chat bot, say chat with the automated chat, whatever. And then you go in there, you ask the question. Of course, it'll give you like generic, like find it here. And it's not going to point you to the answer you're looking for. And then have someone call me. And then it should say, okay, we'll have someone call you in 2 minutes, confirm your number. And that's the way I do it. And I've never not been able to get someone on the phone. Paul Rose says, the stuff I sell isn't seasonal, so it's just the lap of the gods, really, and the whims of eBay. Yeah, I wish I knew. I mean, it does take some...
Do you sell wants or do you sell needs?
So let me ask you...
Or do you sell a want that is a need or a need or a want?
But we asked this before. I think the last time we talked about this. Did you go in and look to see if that item is selling for anyone? So now you might have a bunch of different items, but look at the 5 items in your store that you think should have sold by now. Everyone has 5 items that you can say, yeah, I think that probably should have sold by now. So now it's time to investigate. Go and look for that item in a search, not to see where your item comes up. That's not the point. You're trying to go into the solds to see if that sold for anyone. And if it did, how many times in the last 90 days did it sell? If it only sold once for anyone in the last 90 days, well, that could be part of it. No one is having success with that item. But if it has sold multiple times within the last 90 days, now it's time to see what they did differently than what you're doing. And it's time to emulate what they're doing. And it could be something as simple as free returns. Could be something as simple as free shipping. I mean, I've resorted to a few listings having to go free shipping. It could be your price is too high. Could be the number of photos. You might only have 3 or 4. They might have 10. The algorithm puts all these things into play, and that might be the difference on some of these items. So that would be my challenge to you, is to find out what it is about the ones that have sold versus yours. Keep calm and grind says, I do understand that. And at the same time, we need to utilize all the tools we have available at the store to entice more buyers to partake. Yes, that's what it is. You got to find a way to make these tools work for you. Biff Boffo says, I sell collectibles to old people. Isn't every day summer when you're retired?
That's what they say.
Yeah, true. But then again, let's say I'm an old person. Well, I kind of am old, but I'm not that old yet. But let's say I'm retired. But family is on vacation in the summer. And guess what? They're going to come see old grandma. Well, I'm not going to have time to go shopping because I'm entertaining the family. So, they might be going on vacation with the family. Fletcher Electronics says, if we don't speak up as a group, eBay will always keep squeezing. Calling in or going to chat is nothing. A group of 10,000 or 100,000 for that matter, an email may be a wake-up call. It may be a wake-up call to an extent. But
they're doing what's best for their business to them.
But even, let's say a 10,000 people send an email in. They've got millions of sellers on the platform. We are only, the folks that watch these videos and are on these lives are a drop within the drop that's in that bucket. And we are just a speck on someone's shoulder. Okay. They have a plan. They have a plan in place. Now, whether we agree with that plan or not, doesn't matter. They have a plan in place to make money for their shareholders. Now, unfortunately, the plan that we have doesn't make them the kind of money that they believe that they'll make for their shareholders. Now, my plan is eBay, advertise. Let's get the younger generations on your site. Let's get more traffic in on this platform. Get back some of the market share that you're losing to these other platforms. And you're going to see an increase in revenue by sales, not by fees. But, you know, they usually, a lot of these big companies, they hire these firms. They hire these firms that come up, they analyze your business, and they say, okay, if you do this here and that there, you are going to meet this revenue goal. And so if I'm a betting man, and I am, if anyone would take a bet with me, knowing what I know with the last company we worked all of our lives for, that eBay has hired at least one firm to help analyze what they need to do to help develop a plan, and that's what plan they're following. And unfortunately, it's not good for the rest of us. Yep. Devon says designer toilet seats. Yes.
On Etsy. Mm-hmm.
With like, you can make the ones with the coins in them. Have you ever seen that? Have you gone to someone's house and there's coins in the toilet seats with the like, what is it? The lacquer or whatever it's on top?
It's probably a resin.
Resin. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Keep calm and grind. How long will you leave items active on eBay if they're not selling, as long as they're not costing you extra and part of your subscription? For me, it's the mindset is as long as it takes. And I'll give you an example. I have a tractor part that I bought for $1. And the lower I can buy an item for, the longer I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to take a chance if the comps are like $200 and $250, which they are. So I bought this tractor part. I've been sitting on this thing for a good solid like 9 months now. That big red tractor
rotator.
No, it's just a big L-shaped tractor part. It's a knee axle for some tractor. Brand new in the packaging. So I bought it for $1. I'm the lowest price person with that part. Hasn't sold. So I'm willing to sit on $1 item for the longest time if I need to. But now let's say I'm invested in like all those roller skates that I bought. I think I may have spent like $150 for all those pairs of roller skates. I think I paid like $200 for 30 pairs. If I do the math in my head, because there's about $7, $8 a pair. Well, if I don't sell those, let's see, by midsummer, I'm going to start doing a clearance blowout, because I mean, as we get into the good weather and then back into the crappy weather, less people are going to be buying roller skates in the fall than they are in the spring.
Rhonda, don't give in to them.
Ashley Sims says, go shopping. Girl, I'm right there with you. It's almost a sport to me.
That's right. Yes.
Bama Jaybird says, diversification is super important, in my opinion. Even if you're a niche seller, you should be open-minded to change new ideas when sales die and inventory becomes stale.
Boom.
Yeah.
Right there. Bama said it.
You can buy Bitcoin, which I don't want to talk about, because back in 2011, I had a chance to buy that stuff very cheap, and I was going to take $1,000 and just say, buy some of it. And I did some research, and this is where acting on a whim would have benefited me greatly. But everything I do, I always do research, and there's a lot of people that were very skeptical of it. And I decided, no, that's not for me. I don't want to take a risk. And I would be very rich right now if I would have done that. Beard says, most sellers don't think that they're part of the problem, so they never analyze their own practices and procedures. Right. It's easy, though. It's easy to say eBay is the problem.
Oh, he finally said something without the M word in it.
Oh, but he was thanking the N word the whole time.
Oh, you don't even know what's to come.
Oh, boy. Major Win says, been juicing apples and celery, lost 10 pounds.
I need to get back into that.
Yeah.
I did buy some beet powder, so I'm going to be making smoothies more.
Fletcher's Electronics says, what's everyone's business day of the week? Mine is always Monday around 3 to 4.
Monday.
Now, when you say busy, are you talking sales?
I was going to say, as in what type of busy, because we're busy every day. Well, he's busy every day, but my busy is on Sunday nights and Monday mornings.
Right. Because we're getting all that shipping.
Is a beast.
Mm-hmm. Chatterbrain, yes, we still have snow. Just got 2 more inches yesterday.
Ooh, God.
And JBS Jump 71 says crickets finally sells. Yep, that's kind of the way it is. You got to figure out though, why is it crickets? You know, how do you get that consistency? One of the things I'm very proud of on my store is that we don't have a huge store, and we make good money. You know, this adage that, you know, well, John's not making money on, all you gotta do is look at my store. Yeah, I didn't have a good weekend, but again, I put that into what I've been doing more than you know, the fact that it's eBay. So I'm gonna get out there, not feeling so hot, get out there and work and make sure I get this stuff done. And I'm gonna keep putting good quality things out there. And I don't have to put up 1,000 items in my store to get sales that I look at some stores and, you know, they're getting good sales, but they have to put up a lot of items to get the same number of sales that I'm getting. So I'm pretty happy with that formula. Now, that may not be the formula that you have to use, I mean, for the type of items you're selling, but you know, find the reason why you're not getting the sales. There's an answer out there, I promise you. Larry Todd says, nice Dre. Yeah, we're doing taco meat and guacamole tonight.
I love tacos.
Biff Boffo says, I'm ready to slash prices on my oldest items by 50% at the first sign of a hiccup. I will maintain cash flow by brute force this year if necessary.
Brute force.
Sook says, Bitcoin, ETH, and Dogecoin problem solved.
I think it's Ethereum.
Yeah, but this is ETH.
Yeah, well, I have money in all those. I put money in those.
Her secret getaway stash.
And they are not doing a damn thing.
Her secret getaway stash. One day she's going to be gone. I'm like, what happened? She cashed in all of her coins. Rain says, no, the cost pricing. Okay, maybe that wasn't for me. Ashley Sims says, I'm making spaghetti in a bit. Going to try Raoul's sauce.
Raoul's is good.
Devon Short says, my sales started the beginning of last week. Crazy busy until today. Best sales of the year for me.
Nice.
We want to hear. We want everyone to leave that.
Scroll back down on her face. You changed your photo. I like it.
Bearded Picker says, Amazon changed their shipping screen layouts today. That was a cluster.
That was a cluster.
You know what? I just shipped from them, and there's a program that you have to go in and download now, and it works. And I'm actually was shying away from using Amazon shipping because on Rollo it doesn't give you a very clear, doesn't show the clear address on there. It's really faint, but this program fixes that, and I don't know the name of it. It just, I guess it's part of that new launch that Beard's talking about. Larry Todd says, I have lost 10 pounds on keto this year to date, only 1,400 more pounds to go.
You're a liar.
No. Paul Rose says, yep, I'm ready to already changing it up. I have plans in progress. It'll work or not. Dealing with a lot of other stuff too, which takes my time. Not enough hours in the day. Still trying though. And I think if you were to analyze everything, Paul, it may be that last thing that you're talking about. It is not having enough time in the day. And I think sometimes, and this holds true for me, because I was thinking about this today, I'm out and about doing my work, but then I'm like, okay, I got to get my labels done. I got to go and do this. I got to go and do that. And I'm like feeling like, wow, man, I'm not getting enough stuff done. And I think that if you just get the distractions, and I think for some of us, it's just the distractions that we don't think are distractions, like, you know, maybe playing the YouTube video on the side while you're trying to work. It may not seem like a distraction, but it is. And I've got to figure out what that is for me, and I got to stick to it.
Well, if you were listening more to your than your
that's the thing.
YouTube,
that's
the
thing. Got to get something that maybe playing in the background that will not stop. Just put on
the music, because I know when you're in your mood, it's because of the music.
Yeah.
When you get in a roll, and you're just rolling through those.
Yeah, I might be doing that tonight. That's for sure.
No.
But that book, I might be playing that book too. Once I start something, I want to finish whatever I start. Yeah. Rain Galaro says, not free shipping, just no shipping costs at all. Well, that's going to happen with drop shippers. Yeah. They're not going to have the shipping costs, but, again, they're only making, drop shippers are only usually making 5 to 10% margin, not much at all. And sometimes they're making less than that and relying on gift cards. That there's sites where they can go on to buy a $100 gift card for $80, $85. And that's where they're making their money off the gift card. So it's a totally different business model. But at the same time, they're taking customers from you that, would be buying from you if they never existed on the platform. Ashley says, what about Wahlburgers? Anybody tried them?
Yes, they are good.
Let's see. I think this is one statement I disagree with 100%.
Yeah.
We have one that just went up, a Shake Shack by our house, and Jenna went over there, and it was $30-something for two, what I thought were like little slider burgers, and two shakes, right? It was like $30-something.
Yeah, it was way overpriced and not really that. I mean, yeah, if I had to eat there again, I would, but it's not my first choice. And they're literally the first burger joint when you leave our house.
Keep it calm says, I know that's right, Beard. Like Sarek said in Star Trek 4, it's difficult to answer if one does not understand the question. We must evaluate our practices continuously and adjust accordingly. Yes. Mm-hmm. If you operate under the set it and forget it business model, you are not going to be, you are not optimized regardless of how well you're selling. And I think if you find a way to optimize that process, you're going to do even better than you're currently doing. Let's see. Bearded Picker says, John, you missed Ping on Friday night. It was great to see her on the live show.
How cool. Well, I missed it too.
Look, I got to tell you, Beard, I tried to be on your show Friday night. I was on your show on Friday night.
Yeah, I saw that, by the way.
Yeah, and as she can attest to the fact that if I would have stayed on your show with my passenger in the car, your show would have been ruined.
Your show would have gone downhill.
It would have been ruined. You would have told me, John, I've got to take you off the show because this dude won't shut up.
Boot you from the show because there's just too much talking.
Yeah, so that wasn't going to go well. So that's why I signed off.
You guys don't want to be.
Kim Sharp says, slow sales day, but just got a sale after hitting the like button.
Yay!
Yeah, there you go. Andy says, reporting for duty late, I get a point. Yes, but you get a point. You're here.
1 point for you.
Bearded Picker says, come on, Jenna, get one of those holders for around your neck so you can send offers immediately.
Right? I mean, honestly.
Ashley Sims says, I send new offers as they show up. Get them while it's still fresh in their head. These days, buyers' attention span is like goldfish. But again, that buyer has probably bought what they're looking for and don't need to reply to your offer. Biff Boffle says, Congress is now looking at putting tariffs back on Chinese imports under $800. The threshold used to be $200. I think it should be every damn thing. That would burn Temu to the ground. But to me, it's that 30-cent postage they could ship from China all the way to California or wherever, and that same package for someone the state over, it's like $8, $10. It's not a fair playing field. Mm-hmm. Maya says, on the subject of Congress, did anyone see the bill proposed about the tax credits for buying made in USA items? I wonder if it would benefit those of us who sell vintage and antiques. It's interesting.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Keep calm and grind. I avoid dropping prices by utilizing store sales, coupons, and best offer. Have to utilize all the tools to justify that monthly eBay store charge. Yes, but these are all tools that eBay puts into place. And they put them into place not for the fun of it. I'm sure that there's something baked into the algorithm that, you have the coupon, you got the markdown sale, you utilize best offer, you're doing everything you can to get that buyer to buy your item. And good photos, good title, good, we say the same things over and over again, but it's still the same. It hasn't changed. Let's see. Fletcher says, I thought, okay, hit the like button. No joke. You can check my store. $22 sale.
Yay!
There it is. Ashley says, Biff, I keep looking at stuff on Temu, but I'm scared to pull the trigger and buy anything. Probably smart. It's so tempting. Well, of course.
They make it tempting, but if you think in the back of your mind, they're stealing from name brands, putting a bunch of junk up on their sites, and not to mention for one. For me, I know I say this and I sound like a broken record. It's the child labor. Child labor.
You know, it's very tempting. You're going to find a lot of things that look good, look like they're good quality, but when you get them, because we tried to buy from them once and everything went back. You got to think that these people are taking money away from you because they're taking away the market share. Now, some would argue, well, I sell this kind of thing. It doesn't affect me, but it does. It really does. Hold on real quick. I gotta go blow my nose. Just like it.
What?
I gotta blow my nose.
Oh, well, how about a warning?
Well, I just did. Talk to them.
Talk to them. He said, talk to them. Here, I'll sit up. Oh, look, Pete's here. Hi, Pete. Okay, what's this? Ashley, question for everyone. Any issues with editing listings and or listings and adding photos from phone while listing from PC? Honey, that's a question for you because
okay.
I don't do
I'll answer. Sorry. I know when it's time to blow the nose when these kind of things happen, so I apologize, everyone. Ashley says, question for everyone. Any issues with ending listings and or listing and adding photos from phone while listing from PC? I haven't had a problem with that. It's just the skew thing that's screwing me up. But maybe someone else has.
Maybe somebody else has.
Guess who's in the house? We got Pete.
I know. I already said it.
He's feeling a little froggy today. He has a little tongue sticking out.
He's not froggy. He's just, that's his mouth. It's the eyes and the mouth.
How you doing, Pete? Nice to see you, buddy. The eBay grind grandma. I'm sick as a dog sitting here making my voodoo calls while I watch.
Voodoo dolls.
Dolls. Voodoo calls, too. You could be making some voodoo calls where you're making voodoo dolls.
You could.
Joe Samora says, nothing beats a homemade burger.
Wow.
I think you're right on that one.
That is a fact.
Let's see.
It's homemade burger, then In-N-Out.
Duncan says, Jenna, how do you look at John sideways? Can you show us? Yeah. She gives that look. Midwest
Or
Picker.
he gets the eyebrow.
eBay will make any change and try anything in the world except get new buyers. You know, it's just the longer.
Can you turn them?
I know
They're going to keep blowing it up.
I got friends that like to text me at the worst times. I apologize.
Yeah, right before bed.
Yeah, or early in the morning, that kind of thing. Yeah, you know, the thing is, that's the thing that gets me. It's like you know that other platforms are taking your market share and you're doing absolutely nothing to prevent that. How do you prevent it? Brand recognition. So, you know, I guess maybe touting eBay Motors is your way of doing that, but that's not enough. You've got to really put those commercials. And I think I can recall certain channels complaining about those commercials. Oh, okay, you can't find it on anywhere else. Come to eBay. That's better than nothing, right? Yeah. Go back to those campaigns and at least get your name in people's mind when it comes to shopping online. Well, maybe I'll check eBay. I think that would benefit most sellers a lot. Beard says, interesting, had 32 of an item, listed 8 on eBay, 24 on Amazon, sold 32 on Amazon, none on eBay, promoted at 1%.
Dang.
See, this just shows you the kind of traffic that you can get on Amazon. The problem with Amazon has always been the gating, ungating, certain brands you can't sell, and it's harder to get started on Amazon than it is on eBay. eBay is such an easy entry-level experience, whereas Amazon is so overwhelming. Duncan VR says, I don't like going on holidays. I can't relax and find it a waste of time. I need to do eBay daily.
That's this guy.
Yeah. I do think about it all the time. Ashley Sims says, what about if you added it in description? Just scroll down to leave some space from actual description. I've heard the custom thing has been an issue for many.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Duncan says, sometimes you have to make a big purchase investment when you know you can triple your money. I spent $2,000 on more stock today. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's never pleasant to dish out money. But if you know that you're going to sell the item, then it's not that big of a deal. We're always on a weekly basis, we're shelling out hundreds of dollars for inventory. But I know that it's the only way I'm going to be able to get good sales days is if I replenish, especially when we have a smaller store, right? I think the smaller the store, the more the sales impact future sales because you got to keep replenishing and replenishing the good stuff. You have 1,000 items. Well, you still might have quite a bit of good stuff in there that just hasn't sold. Major wins. I love that one. And Biff Boffo, I did notice eBay does intend to bring back the LQR. That's the listings quality report. Just another glitch, I guess. Now they said that they were because it's not, I don't think it's there. I'd like to see it again. I think that's very, very helpful. Paul Rose says, for sellers, trust and safety just means they don't trust you and you're not safe. Yeah, they don't trust. And that's the sad thing about it is that eBay tries to put everyone on an even playing field. So whether you've sold for 20 years or you just started, you're all treated the same. Now, with the exception that you get like 100 listings when you first start, you might get your payments held. But aside from that, when it comes to customers, we're all treated sort of the same. And I think eBay would do better to, whenever we have a dispute between buyer and seller, well, this buyer has zero feedback. Okay, you have a seller who's been with eBay for 20 years, no negative feedback. Why wouldn't you give that seller the benefit of the doubt? I mean, they've gone through thousands of transactions up to this point. They haven't defrauded anyone. And so why wouldn't you give maybe credence to that versus someone who just bought on eBay for the first time? Or it might be a guest account or a throwaway account because maybe that person's been suspended off of the site for doing crazy things. You don't know. They have a zero feedback. So for me, eBay needs to do a better job of giving maybe sellers with seniority a little bit more leeway than they have. Chris the Goose says, finally caught alive. Hey, everyone. Yes,
hey.
Thanks for being here. Chris the Goose. Call me Caitlin says, what are your top 5 selling categories for last week? Wow. Top 5 selling categories for last week, I would say would be toilet seats, I guess health and beauty, maybe sporting goods. There's a lot of golf clubs. I sold 2 sets of golf clubs. I sold a set of ping irons for $350, and I sold a set of TaylorMade irons for $200, and my cost of goods on those were $0. My friend that's moving to Italy had a bag of golf clubs, and it turns out that his last 2 sets, when he upgraded, he just didn't turn them. You could trade these things in and get a credit on your new set. He just kept them. So it's like, okay, well, he's like, here, take my old clubs. I'm like, well, I can certainly use those. I know how to move those, and I move those pretty quickly. John Worldwide Weber, looking forward to listening to the Profit Playbook. Yes, well, thank you. We're looking forward to recording it. It's actually it's very intriguing that we're not only talking about eBay, we're talking about just reselling all across the board. So I'm looking forward to it as well. Steve Poste says, we like your top knot too, John. Yes. Yeah, right.
Would you think I was going to hit you?
I thought you were going to take my hat off. Duncan says, your chat is close to the best, along with that unprofessional guy called Roman.
Yeah.
I need a translator for him, though. Roman, I got to tell you, Roman is probably one of the most genuine good guys you're going to find. So,
yes. His heart is like, he's got a heart of gold.
Yeah. Really good guy.
Yeah.
Major win. That is our dream, to do a sourcing road trip.
Yes. I want to do that so bad.
But we have a situation with our animals.
No, I want to rent an RV.
Okay.
And I just want to bring the dogs with us.
Okay. Well, okay.
Let's plan.
I could just imagine that one. This audience already knows that our dogs are like rambunctious, and that would be interesting.
No, not in a vehicle.
You don't know that. They haven't. Well, we've gone on road trips with these dogs. Okay. Let me just tell you that one of them gets car sick every time, and he makes a mess. And it's like, I can imagine how that would work out. So I don't know.
We'll work it out.
Iqbal says, I'm outside US and I want to drop ship between eBay and Walmart. If I sell a Walmart item on eBay, then the buyer will get a Walmart package. Can I use a third-party company that changes packaging?
You're going to have to ask somebody else, because we don't do that.
Well, I'll give you the answer to that. I don't know of a third-party company that would accept your package, repackage it into a regular box, and ship it to the customer. And the amount of money you're making on a drop shipping account, the margin is so small that it wouldn't be worth the fee that you'd have to pay that company. So there are drop shippers right now that are shipping these items, and they're coming in Walmart boxes and or Amazon boxes or Home Depot boxes. And most buyers from experience are just accepting it. They don't really complain about it. Devon Short has laughy faces. Roman says it never gets moist in Cleveland in the summer. I guess this is where the moist comment starts. Biff Boffo says, on the other hand, Q4 never really moves the needle for me either. Wait. I'm just trying to catch up here.
Stop. Sweet Thing.
Sweet Thing says, good day, John and Jenna. I hope you have a productive week. Crickets all weekend.
Oh, well, no. Well, I hope you have a very successful week.
Tammy Weber says, I took my box of listings outside and listed. I told myself I could not go outside till I was done.
Go inside.
Inside till I was done. Well, I can't go outside either. But yes, that's the way to work. You want to be able to give yourself a goal. And I think sometimes people will buy a whole large lot of things to sell. And then they'll look at it and kind of be frozen by, because this happened to me when we bought the big pallets. And I'd be like, okay, where the hell do I start? And you're kind of overwhelmed and you get really nothing done. So the best thing to do is to take a tote, fill it with just whatever, doesn't matter. If you can find some good stuff at the top, grab it, put it in the tote and fill up that tote, and then just take it to your station. And that's all you're focused on. And then you just refill it as you go and set yourself a goal. I want to get this done by this certain time.
DJ, be patient. We're coming. He goes one right after the other.
Yeah. John says, I only sell 2 platforms and would like to do 3, but congrats to people doing more. A lot of work. I just want to be good at what I am doing before I venture out to new territory. That's a very, very good idea. You want to kind of master it in a way. So, like before I get on to the next one, because I'm already doing Mercari and Posh, taking on Amazon. If I take on something else, I want to be sure that I'm okay with Amazon, and I'm not quite there yet. And then Tommy says that. So not Tommy, but Beard says that. How many times can I say M and the profit?
Yeah.
There's got to be a different word though. Paul Rose says, Jenna, you're cracking me up tonight. I saw the shiver going down your spine. That I won't mention the M word again.
Okay, I got it.
David says, I hate the chat bot. It runs me in circles until I give up or finally gives me an agent. Yeah, but you just gotta persevere on that one. I am going to skip a little bit tonight. John Worldwide Web says, if you want to make things right, start with yourself first before you take on the world.
That's right. Hi, Larry. You miss Larry.
Where?
That's what happens when you skip.
Okay. We got Larry way out.
Yes.
But some of these remarks are not for me, so I'm going to skip them.
They're for me. They're for me.
Paul says, I have a blue resin seat with razor blades in, John. Don't know what that says about me. Hopefully it never breaks.
I hope not. That
would feel too good.
That would be quite spicy.
Tammy sold the tractor part. It took a while, but worth the wait.
Yes.
Beard shipped 74 today. Worked up some moisture.
Moisture is different.
Fletcher Electronics says, hearing about snow makes me laugh. I live in Northern Ontario, and it was 14 Celsius today. Wow. I love some snow. 14 Celsius? That's like, I think 14 Celsius is close to freezing.
Fahrenheit?
I think it's like 28 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's still cold. We've got 601 Roliz 3NP. Hopefully I'm getting that right. But thank you for the super chat. When setting up a store, is it important to designate specific categories or just leave it as other default setting? You can, when you're setting up a store, maybe put your highlighted categories, the categories that you have the majority of your items in. Like for me, maybe sporting goods or the toilet seats and all that stuff, health and beauty. But see, I think storefronts are more for those who are selling within a niche. They benefit more from a storefront than someone who sells everything. So hopefully that answers your question. And thank you again for the super chat. I appreciate that.
Thank you. You don't have to do that.
No, never have to do that. But, we certainly aren't mad at you for it. That's for sure. Thank you. See if I can find some folks here. Fletcher says, want your sales to do better, do something. The customers are there. They are there.
Yep.
They are there. All you got to do is look at the solds to know that they're there and see, if you're selling within a certain category, look at the solds or look at the item you're selling. See if it's sold for anyone else. I promise you the sales are out there. Major Win says, John and Jenna, we're new here, but love your channel. Wish you lovely rest of your week. Take care all. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are so glad that you're here.
Yes. And then Fletcher says, time can be a constraint, but you can always change something to make your time work better. I work 200 hours a month at my job, 2 kids, and 2,800 items on eBay. What are you going to sacrifice? Good point.
That is a fact.
Let's see. Reef the Sea Forever says USPS should give sellers the same deal on shipping.
I agree.
Yeah, but USPS is doing better. If you watch the video I put out last week, a lot of good changes are coming. Steve says, I'm interesting that YouTube is running Whatnot ad on your live. Interesting.
They got to make money too.
But eBay's not doing it, so Whatnot's going to do it. Folding Chair Johnson says, hey, flippin', I got here late. Hope things ignore that last word. Okay. Well, thanks for being here.
Folding Chair Johnson.
Steve Poste says, you have friends. I do have friends.
He does.
Believe it or not, this guy has friends.
Some are good and some are eh.
You know why I have friends? Because I'm a very loyal guy. And I think
that's fact.
I'm a very loyal person.
Yes.
Brandy says, thank you for bringing up Temu and the child labor. I think many people don't realize why China can make things so cheap.
Absolutely.
How about the slave labor?
Slave labor, child labor.
The Uyghurs.
It's all, if there's anything that gets me more upset than child labor, child trafficking, there is nothing more important to me than calling out that behavior because it's unacceptable.
Jovial says, millionaire grandma, if she makes those JI dolls.
Oh, they're talking about turning the voodoo doll into a Jamie.
Oh, wow. John Worldwide Weber, gating was never a problem for me, mostly auto ungating. Yeah.
Yeah, you get a lot of auto ungating.
I get this question a lot. What do you think of free shipping? I think it's can be a very useful thing depending on what you're selling. If it's under 2 pounds, then I believe it's beneficial because the label's not going to cost you all that much. But anything over 2 pounds, you really have to look at, the benefits. How much are you into the item for versus how much you're selling it for? How much room do you have to absorb the free shipping? Because the larger the item, the less you're going to make. So that's why I always like to use calculated for anything that's over 2 pounds. Basket Noodle, thanks for being here. And Basket Noodle says, toilet seats and health and beauty, is that like one category? It's within the same.
It's within the same.
Because we have like step-up rails, safety rails for beds.
We have a lot of accessibility tools.
Yeah. Thrifty Loon says, I'll hit the like button for my sale.
Yay!
Yes. Keep calm and grind. I'll admit I have let slow sales get me down lately on multiple platforms, but I believe we have to remember how lucky we are every day just to get up and function, grind, succeed. Yes.
Absolutely.
And you realize that when
you're very blessed to be able to do what we do.
You realize that when you get sick, you realize, wow, I want to get back in the game. I gotta beat this thing. And
I need a new chair, by the way.
Okay. Well, you know where to get them. John Gaynor says, hi, Jen and John. Thanks for bringing the resellers on your site. The information they give us is priceless. Please keep them coming. All the best. Yes.
Thanks, John.
We enjoy discussing it with you guys. We learn a lot of information from you guys. We don't have all the answers, and sometimes we rely on you guys to be here to provide that information. So thank you for being here. Basket Noodle, if HTML link your eBay store and your listings, you'll get traffic to it, then it matters.
I don't think you're allowed to do that, are you?
Well, you're not supposed to provide HTML links off of eBay in your listings. You can get flagged for that. So now if you go in and share your listings onto social media, if you have a big enough following on your social media, generally, like YouTube is our biggest social media. So we have Facebook, we have Instagram, but we really don't have a lot of people following. And that's because I don't put a lot of content out on those platforms. Duncan says, okay, I need lunch, but I'm thinking about toilet seats for some reason. Well, that means
you're going to need one after lunch.
If you're thinking about toilet seats when you're thinking of lunch, that means you're not going to have a very good lunch.
You should probably not eat what you're about to eat.
Ping G says, one of the perks of a store is setting up categories to make it easier for your buyers to find what they're looking for. Let's see. We got J Rides with us. Hey.
J-Ride.
Thanks for being here, Jake. Nice to see you. And good job on the podcast, by the way. Andy Someta says, here, let me help you. Alexa, how many companies in the United States use child labor?
Too many.
Yeah. Vinyl Rob says, your take on niche sellers. I think niche sellers are probably the most ideal way to go on eBay. The problem with becoming a niche seller is getting consistent inventory. If you have, and you should have more than one supplier if you're trying to be a niche seller, multiple suppliers that can supply you with enough inventory to where you can keep rolling without having any hiccups. If one of these suppliers jumps state, you're out of business. I think it's the best way to go because you can build a storefront on eBay, and you can use functions like newsletters and build a following and really get a lot of repeat buyers. So if you can sell within a niche and make all that work, then you're ahead of the game. But that's not to say that everything sellers can't make money. Everything sellers can. It's a totally different type of business, I believe. And ideally, I'd like to be a niche seller if I actually could, but I just haven't found the opportunity yet. Maya says, what's funny? None of them should be using child labor. They're not. None of them's funny. So I agree with you.
She's talking to someone else. Basket Noodle, your eBay store is what they were talking about.
Beard Picker says, I have all the answers, just can't remember them.
That's me.
Yeah. Like I was saying, though, you could drive traffic to your eBay store through your social media. You can do that. But for me, generally, the people who follow me may not be interested in
what they're trying to say is they put an HTML inside their listing.
To where?
Their store.
But that doesn't make sense. If you put a link in your eBay listing to your store, you're already there.
It makes no sense.
That's like saying you're in aisle 1 of the grocery store and they're giving you a map to get to aisle 2. It just doesn't make sense.
An HTML link in your full description.
Of what?
The listing.
To where?
Dude,
this is like who's on first, who's on second? No,
they have
on third?
They have this listing. They have a description. In the description, what they're talking about is having an eBay store link in their description.
Why?
Why?
Why? They're already in your store.
Already in your store is what he's trying to say.
It's like, okay, I'm at aisle 1 of the grocery store. The store is going to put up look to your right. You'll see aisle 2. You're there already. And I'm not trying to be smart. I'm just saying there's no purpose.
Maybe they're thinking that will bring them to the other items within the store. I get what you're saying is they're already in the store.
Well, let me put it this way. You can do like templates. You could do templates that have like a banner where it says click here for the store to see my store. You can do that. But if the URL link leads you outside of eBay, I believe eBay shuns it. If it keeps it there, then you're fine. And you can do that. And templates, there are templates that you can go through like Optiva. I think you can make them through InkFrog. There's other programs where you can make a nice little template and have like a little link. Click here to see the rest of our store. And you don't have to go through and create a link on every time you make a listing.
I understand already. I get it. But what they are trying to say is it stands out to everyone reading the description. If you'd like to put a link for your store in your description, you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But what he's saying is that they're already in your store by looking at that description.
Right. And I think you'd have better luck having a dedicated template that says click here to see the rest of the items in the store than to put it somewhere in your item description, because as we all know, buyers don't read item descriptions all that often. Now, some do, but not all of them do. Basket Noodle, if you HTML link, you're okay. We already read that. Duncan says, okay, I need a lunch, but I'm thinking about toilet seats for some reason.
I already read that. Where it happened?
I don't know. This is like going crazy on here.
No, your fingers going
eBay
crazy.
store link becomes they don't realize you have more items.
Because they don't.
Fletcher says, I have a link in my description to my store and the link in the right that eBay provides, and I still get asked 4 or 5 times a week from eBay's contact form if I have a store if they can look at. Really? Duncan VR says, don't put a link to Temu in your eBay list. No, don't do that. Folding Chair Johnson says, interesting, never done the URL link. If you want to create a template that will do that, I'm sure that'll work for you. Gotta fix this because it's not working. Okay. I'm having a hard time reading this because I had it on the wrong. I had it over between 2 monitors. Beard says, John, you stole some of Jenna's alone time. It might not be good for your life expectancy.
Yeah, he really shouldn't come home early, especially on a 2-day trip.
Well, it's like, first of all, I don't have reception wherever we're at. So it's like, well, I can't call her or text her because, I can't get a signal. So I got in the car, started driving, and just didn't think about it.
One of his buddies posted a picture on Instagram showing a picture of the poker table with all the chips and everything. And I see like John's shirt in the background. And I said, oh, well, nice to know you made it safe.
I couldn't contact her.
I'm like, all your buddies have service.
Simple Beautiful says, hey, J&J, eBay seems to be the only platform that supports the mom and pop reseller. Temu sells sub-quality items from elsewhere. Amazon don't care about you. Your thoughts?
Yeah.
Well, I agree with that for the most part. I don't think, if we're being honest, I don't think any of the platforms care about you. I think they generally care about the seller experience, but on an individual level, they don't care about any of us. It's certainly Amazon. You make one mistake, you're out. At least eBay gives you chances. They give you warnings before they throw you off. eBay will argue that they give you opportunities, like I guess next week they're having a seller check-in to kind of talk to eBay, right? But they're never willing to take on the very challenging questions. So eBay is a little bit better, I guess, but they have a lot of work to do. I believe they really, really need to do better. Even though they think they're doing fine, they need to do better. David says, I love eBay. I hate eBay. I thank you for your informative insight. Married to eBay 12 years now. And that's just it. There'll be some people that'll say you're a shill for eBay. There'll be others that'll say, well, why are you hating on eBay? And it's like, I'm just giving you my honest assessment, the good, the bad. And unfortunately, you have some people that watch, they're cheerleaders for eBay. Some people that watch, they are looking for channels that will support their thoughts, their negative thoughts on eBay. And if you're not in line with either of those two, then, for some reason you get a lot of negativity from it. And it's just like, this is the way I feel. I'm very thankful to eBay for the fact that I make good money. We make good money on eBay, but they could do a really better job for most resellers on the platform. There's a lot of things that are lacking and they're just tone deaf, and it needs to change. Let's see. Jovial says, John, take care of Jenna tonight to relieve that tension. Wow. Spirit says all the landlines were dead too. There were no landlines.
Who has a landline anymore.
I guess that they only have landlines in Alabama. Let's see. John says, not every provider of cell service is equal. Jenna, give them a break.
Yeah. This is true. This is true. But you know
T-Mobile.
what? I have his buddy's phone number. So if they were to call me or let him borrow the phone to say, I'm here, love you, bye. That's it.
Yeah, but you know, any guy out there knows that once the cards are in the air, it's like, okay, it's focus time.
Yeah, well, you'll be focused, real focused when you come home to the door locked next time.
I know I can get in. Basket Noodle says, click here to see our toilet seats and other items for people with disabilities.
Yes.
But see, that's just it too. Even if I had a link like that in the listing, I might be sold out of toilet seats next week and on to the next thing. Mm-hmm. So if I had a niche store, that would be more useful. But I think the time spent on developing or adding that to your link could be spent somewhere else. Maybe looking into improving other areas of your listing. Beard says, it's a lot of pressure to be informative and a comedian since Tommy is AWOL.
I know. Yeah, where the hell is he?
I don't know what he did. Maybe he just gave up.
Maybe he's at dance class.
John says, eBay is not a person. It's a tool to use, not love or hate.
Okay, but there are many tools that I love or hate at times.
Paul Rose says, eBay does make you touch schizophrenic. Can't be denied. LOL. No, you're right.
That's true.
You know, you're like, why is
like
it
a damn relationship
that I can have $1,000 day and know like clockwork that I'm going to have no sales tomorrow? Baskin says, I love T-Mobile and you can too for $97.03 a month. No, we're not pitching T-Mobile. Believe me, we just have T-Mobile because it's the best deal. They give me my MLB for free every year, so that's another perk. Watch all my games.
Yeah, but see, it's weird because we purposely changed carriers for that exact trip that he takes every year, and changed our carrier. Who did we go to?
We had Verizon for a hot minute.
Still didn't get any service. He had to take a what was it, or a
it's one of those cell, they call those, it's a little box that you set up and it gets a signal. It's a booster, a cell booster.
Yeah. So anyway, he had to bring one of those with him to the river to get service, and it still didn't work.
Yeah.
So he's just doomed for not having any. It doesn't matter what carrier he has.
So Maya says, but it is eBay that makes us schizophrenic, or does eBay just attract schizophrenic people?
That's a good question, Maya.
Maybe a little bit of both. Larry says, I have this type of comment in all of my descriptions. Check out my other listings or more great stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. I have a template already set to where I do a drop down and select that template, and then I fill in whatever I need. So you can already have that created within your template if you want. I just don't think that's going to really benefit me any. John says, don't you live in a desert?
Yes, we do. We don't live in a desert. We live in a desert.
Verizon service is eBay's fault. And then some people would say that. Paul Rose says, yes, Larry, I often mention my other account in messages. So I think we're here at the end of the road.
Right at 5 o'clock on the money. How good is that?
And that was a lot of skippage. Did someone say they were looking for me to comment on something?
You did.
Did I pass them up? Or
no, you answered them.
Okay.
DJ was getting a little worried that you weren't getting to his.
Oh, yeah. I'm just a little slow. It's just part of the way it is. One of the things I'm probably not going to be able to do going forward in a lot of these lives, and it's not because I want to skip through comments, but it's 2 hours of reading and reading and reading. I really want to maybe go through and select certain comments that I can then go into kind of discussing more about, or maybe make it part of the content of the lives, because especially when I'm out of it, like today, I'm really not in it. I mean, I wanted to be
you're
part
more
of
in it today than you were last Friday.
Well, I'm in it, but I'm not feeling today. Outages in the internet happening. It just, to me, I'm not with it today.
It's just another example how flipping ain't easy.
How flipping ain't easy. But glad you guys are here with us, and we are looking forward to the next one. And I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your week. And until then,
we love you guys.
Take care, everyone.